All right, where are you right there?
In front of Timothy Herrington's apartment.
All right, you knocked on the door? All right, announced your presence?
Yes.
All right. Now, you've already detailed sort of your background understanding of what your investigation showed.
Yes, sir.
At this point, does Tim Herrington know what you know about the case?
He doesn't know what I know about the case now.
What we're doing is we're going around and talking to anybody that had contact with him, and we got some records back on records, stuff like that. This is just contact. Right. Talking to see. Yes, sir. I wish I was playing it up.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. Can you identify the person in the dark colored muscle shirt?
Yes, that's Tim Herrington.
All right, and then the other person in that image is who?
Myself.
All right, now it appears that this is being recorded by a body cam.
Yes, sir.
And who's wearing that body cam?
Detective Ryan Baker.
You got that one? Yes, sir. How do you know that? Students, we're back here. That's what I'm about that. I got it. How about you?
All right. I just want to inquire from the court, is that audio, are
Not
you
the
able
best.
Are you able to hear that?
I can, but more
Make
post question can the jury hear it anyway? Y'all hear it?
We good?
It's a little muffled, I guess would be a good way to.
I do believe the audio system here is better. So if it becomes a problem, if the court wants to allow.
I'm on you listening. I'm gonna let you make your own decisions about where you play it anyway. Okay. What's that now?
This one screen's not working.
We got one screen. We got one screen that's not working. Let's try to get that going before we continue. Yep. We got one screen that's not working anyway. Working now? Well, that's all we're worried about now. All right, thank you. I'm going to let you make your own decisions about where you wish to play it at, okay?
So you're going in the, did you identify why you were there, the purpose for talking to Tim Herrington?
Yes, sir.
And what was that?
We wanted to see if Tim Herrington could provide us with any information related to the Jaylee.
Missing person?
Yes.
And had you been doing that in the area?
Oh, yes, we've been around the city talking at different apartment complexes, and
Oh, we were cool. Like, we were, like, I would say we were like best friends, but we were like, just, constant things like that. You have any contact with him? No, sir, I haven't heard anything since. It's been a minute. I know, like, since he's been gone, I haven't heard anything. So, before he was gone.
All right. At that point, at 4:38, was that statement from Tim Herrington important to you?
it was.
What did he say?
He said he ain't seen him since he's been gone.
All right. Since he's been gone. Okay. And before he said, since he's been gone, what did he say?
So you ask your question again?
What did he say right before that?
I do not recall, sir.
All right, let's back it up. Just a few seconds.
No, sir, I haven't heard anything since. It's been a minute. I know, like, since he's been gone, I haven't heard anything.
Since he's been gone, I haven't heard anything.
Yes.
All right.
Before he was gone, what's the last time you made contact? That I saw.
All right. Had you, at this point, told him anything about a date that Jaylee went missing?
No, he just, no dates.
And so right there, just before 4:44, I'm going to replay that. His statement there about since he's been gone and at this point, does that indicate to you that he knows when he went missing?
I abstain the objection.
I know, like, since he's been gone, I haven't heard anything. So, before he was gone, what's the last time you made contact? That I saw. I'm not sure when it was, but it was like.
He wasn't sure of the date, according to him at that time, but he did say that night.
That night, he specified that night.
I'll sustain the objection. Don't leave your witness.
Was he sure about the exact date here on the interview, according to him?
He said that night.
Okay.
I would say a couple of weeks ago, I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, so we weeks ago. Nah, we were, at least he came out and stopped by. And you right now, the people are talking to them, either school people want something, or old friends, other people in class. So you're actually the first one that's saying, yeah, I did see him. So, like, he came over by, so we were cool. So, like, we were just chilling. Like, he came by and stopped by, so we were just chilling. So, like, we went back to his apartment. I don't know, it was like, we're talking, so we're talking morning, afternoon, early morning. This is like night time. I'm not sure what time it was, but I believe it was dark. It was dark. I don't want to say wrong thing, but it was not. You ain't say wrong, but yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, we're trying to bear it out and stuff like that. Yeah, he should have been parked. Like, he stopped by. We talking about it. No, he stopped. I came outside and we just talked. He wasn't that long. We talking and, man, he just sat there like, he regressed. I was here about town. So I'm here in Florida, so he just came and we just talking, like, talking. Yeah, so we just talking. No, just talking. So we just talking, because I'm here in Florida, so I'm like, I'm moving down. That's very, very low. So I have a job, and that's why I said this.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there. What he's talking about is that night. And that's gonna be when the day that Jay Lee went missing, correct?
Yes, sir.
Had he said anything to you at this point about?
I'm gonna let him ask his question. Go ahead.
At this point, had Tim Herrington said anything about an early morning encounter with Jay Lee?
No, sir. All he kept saying was that night.
That night. Had Tim Herrington said anything about having Snapchat messages with Jay Lee in the early morning hours?
No, sir, he did not.
All right. Now, right there, what information had you provided that you knew about your investigation?
That the vehicle had been found at Molly Bar Trails, and Mr. Jay Lee liked to dress as a female.
So going back to the car, what was the question that you asked?
Did he have any gut feeling on how that car ended up at Molly Bar Trails?
And his response was what?
No.
All right. And even though he said no, he doesn't have any idea, what did you know about Tim Herrington and Molly Bar Trails?
I knew that Tim Herrington ran out of Molly Bar Trails the morning of the 8th and went down to Rockets and got picked up by Josiah Carter and taken back, so I knew Tim Herrington was at Molly Bar Trails.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just cool, like me, I got this condition. It's like, I share about it, like, everybody, like, thanks a lot, cool person. So I have a relationship with a lot, not just black, like everybody. Yeah, that's just the type of person I am. I got swear on this. I have a relationship with a lot of people that feel open and talking about gossip. So, nah, because I feel like we got to say my head out of me. I want to be like, oh, you know, I want to be so you're talking about that body job that came over here. Yeah. How did that conversation go? I mean, how did you before that? How did you know your own? How did you know, you know, like I said, everybody knows that we're so loud. They provide, like, you know, we do everything to do some stuff like that. So, I didn't know.
All right. Prior to getting into how did you know he was going to come over, did you inquire as to whether he had, I mean, he agreed that he knew that he liked to dress fashionably.
Yes, sir.
What was his response to whether they had a more than just an acquaintance, friendship relationship?
He said he did not have any kind of sexual relationship with him.
All right. At this time, did you indicate to him that you knew what their messages were about on Snapchat? Okay.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I had something earlier, and so I started like,
All right. What were y'all talking about here?
We were talking about where Jay Lee, if Tim did anything, where they met at, or how Jay Lee knew Tim was home, and how he could make. Did Jay Lee reach out to him and call him, or reach out any kind of other any kind of electronic device to know Tim was home? And he said he met Jay Lee earlier at either Walmart or Home Depot.
All right. Sounds good.
So yeah, I saw him and he was like, I got you give up a lot. I was like, oh, the side. No, sir. Other than like I was mentioning, I'm at home. That's like the outside and then like long, it's all there. So I can go.
All right. Right there, if you were able to hear, y'all are talking about what?
Molly Bar Trails.
All right. Now, what was significant about his response?
He said Tim Herrington said he doesn't go over there much because they tow from over there.
Okay.
To me, that was significant because he knows the towing practices of that business and that complex.
Yeah, so I personally don't go over there, but I know right. The last time I went to my bar was
All right. Was that additional information that he provided significant to you about Molly Bar Trails?
Oh, absolutely. Tim Herrington said he had been over there in a few months, but we were able to find video of him running out of the complex that morning on July 8th.
what do y'all look like? Right.
So, you know, I appreciate you talking to me. We just want to go through everybody, mark off this, correct? But you'll have it, just keep my radio stuff on, so like that.
Okay, so what do you know, like Instagram?
We just look through the comments, we're pretty much not sure that that's out there, taking messages from video, you know, like that, something on the live or something, you know, things like that. So, but actually, I'll ask you a couple more questions. What? You saw, you believe, but he doesn't come back, right?
All right. Why was that important information to you right there? You saw him, he leaves, but he doesn't come back.
Yes. Asking Tim if he saw Jay Lee, which he said he did. He leaves, which Tim said he did, he doesn't come back, according to Tim, was very important because Khalid Fears already knew that he came back over there. He was going to meet somebody that had previously blocked him on some social device, and he was going back to meet somebody that he had met earlier in the night.
All right, and in canvassing people that were associated with Jay Lee, would you ask a question like, hey,
Being a witness, would you ask questions like this, that? I mean,
I'm going to ask you to rephrase your questions. I don't know exactly what it was going to be, so.
started out as a leading question.
Yes, started out that way. I bet it's going to end that way.
the questions that you were asking Tim, some are specific to information you know. Are some of the questions the same type of question you would ask other people?
Absolutely. Do you know Tim? Have you seen, do you know Jay Lee? Have you seen him any time since July 8th? Those are standard questions that we would ask anybody trying to ascertain any information we can about where Jay Lee is.
Was one of those questions that you would ask, what do you think happened to him?
Absolutely. I think that's a very important question because everybody has a different opinion or thought or may know something. And we want to know what that is by asking, what do you think happened to someone? It may point us in a direction that leads us somewhere else. And hopefully what we were hoping for is the discovery of Jay Lee.
I don't know. You said that dude, yeah, I'm saying he's like, out of there. I don't know, he's just like, went and got sick, somebody got kidnapped like this, that could be one. Another could be, I don't know, like, personally.
All right. Did you hear his response to that question?
Yes, based on what you had told me, I'm not going to get it exactly word for word here, could have went and had casual sex with somebody and they kidnapped him.
Okay. When you were canvassing, did anybody else have a response like that?
No, sir.
Was that significant to you?
Absolutely it was.
Why?
Looking at that statement after we interviewed Tim, not only at his apartment, but at CID later on, and after we continued with the investigation, I think what happened is Tim described what he did to Jay Lee.